Good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the corruption detector, and this is your Red Pill news for Saturday Night Live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight with my special guest, Jason Was a Gentile. We are, real quick, going to need to take a listen to a special word from my sponsor, but we'll be right back after this message. This month, Virtual Shield is offering a spring special of 30% off all VPN plans and all premium add-ons, including Protection Plus, residential access, monthly maintenance, phone support, and VIP performance plans for as low as $3 per month. And don't forget about IdentiSafe, which allows the customer the ability to block off computer microphone and camera access from any unwanted spies and hackers. For anyone that's paranoid about the government watching or listening to every move they make via computer, IdentiSafe is for them. Remember, Virtual Shield is one of the easiest VPNs to use in the world. It's also one of the fastest. Their no-long policy protects its users from any data breaches. So go to virtualshield.com/redpill78 and sign up for your free month along with 35% off at this exclusive link. Oh, you guys, I'm getting the message that there's echo. Oh, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. This is what happens when you're live on the road. All right, so we got it taken care of. You guys understand what to do. If you want to get protection with a VPN, please go to that special link in the description of the video below. I'm so sorry, everybody. Virtual Shield is an awesome sponsor, and I just want to thank them once again for giving me the opportunity to do what I do without the hassle of censorship. All right, you guys. We have a very, very special guest with us tonight. It is my friend and yours, Jason Was a Gentile. One moment, and I will bring Jason on. I need to give him a text message. Okay. On. Jason, we're on. There you go. Make sure you turn off mute, or turn mute back off.
Okay. Jason Was a Gentile.
And we're back. We're live, Jason. Jason, dude, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm so happy to have you here, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's just a trip. I'm so excited.
Awesome, dude. I am excited myself. So, if everybody remembers, Jason had written a song and sent it over to me. I lost it, and he hooked up with another mutual friend, Jody, and she got it to me. And as soon as I heard it again, I was like, this is the guy that I was trying to reach. Couldn't get a hold of you because I lost your email. I get so many emails. But Jason, I am very, very excited for you to be here. I've got your website pulled up on the screen. I don't know if you've got the live stream going at the same time so you can see it. But
I can.
Okay, yeah, so we're at jasonwasagentile.com. That link is in the description of the video below. I highly suggest that everyone go there and check it out. Now, first off, Jason, I do need to give a couple of thanks. We had quite a few people from all around the world visiting us tonight. I see Minnesota, we've got New Mexico, Memphis, we've got California, Arkansas. Let me see, lots of new people. Wisconsin, we've got Kansas. Excellent. We've got Patriots from all over the world. I got Chicago just coming through, Central Arkansas, North Carolina, Connecticut, East Tennessee, Colorado, Missouri, Oklahoma, Florida, Kansas, Michigan, Georgia, Maine, Florida Panhandle, Australia, California, Kansas City, Texas. We've got basically people from every state in the union, as well as many, many countries, throughout the world. We've already had a couple of super chats, too. I need to give a couple of thanks for those. First of all, my buddy Larry Thompson said, hashtag Biden Gitmo 2020. I think that's an excellent idea. Also, my friend Jeff Stewart said that Creepy Joe smelled his hair. And he also gave another super chat saying Michigan. And then Mighty Dragon wants me to say rubber baby buggy bumpers 5 times in a row. So I'll try it. Rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers. I did it. All right. So we've got 875 Patriots in the chat right now. Let's see here. I am going to throw it onto slow mode so that we can see these chats coming through a little bit easier. Hang on. I need to go to a different screen here. All right. So, Jason, while I'm throwing this on slow mode, please do me a favor and introduce yourself to the audience.
Yeah, so I go by Jason was a Gentile, and so just here's my elevator speech. Like, why am I here? Why am I on the show? What's up?
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm all about Donald Trump. I think he's the greatest president, one of the greatest, if not the greatest we've ever had. This is a highly interesting time to be alive and American, not just an American. I love to talk about the Q movement. Of course, that's the thing. And so I think I have a talent. I basically am a songwriter, singer-songwriter, and I'm putting Q music and Jesus Christ to music in a catchy way. So that's what I'm all about. I just want to, I've just been wanting to create anthems for free consumption.
Yep.
For whoever is into this. This is for you.
Beautiful. And Jason, you are a phenomenal musician. I mean, not only an excellent lyricist, but you lay down tracks with a particular skill that a lot of people don't have. What's your background? I mean, how long have you been making music?
Super long time. So I've been making since the 90s.
Oh, so, wow.
Basically, when I was in college, this was when recording was quite difficult. It's not like it is now. You can just knock out a demo on GarageBand. It wasn't like that. Right. So, so I was basically reading like rap magazines and just reading the interviews, and I would figure out ways to cut demos. So I made friends with some guys that were studying the sound engineering, and they gave me the keys to the studio. I didn't ask, they gave them to me.
Nice.
And so I cut a whole bunch of records, and then I've been in and out of smaller record deals, no major record deals, but in and out of a few indie record deals. And then when I left home, I went to Nashville, and up and down Music Row, knocked on every door there could be in Music City, USA, and I was making pop music. And then I moved to LA, got a management deal. Love to talk about that, all the details with that. And, so I've just been making music a super long time, and I just feel like I've done it so much that I hate to just stop. But I'm kind of tired of singing about things I'm not interested in.
Well, dude, yeah. I mean, the fact of the matter is that the commercial music scene is not really built, or I'm sorry, the people making commercial music, they do not want it structured for people who are Christians or for people who are woke about certain subjects. So I would imagine that you had quite the experience in like Nashville and Hollywood. People trying to mold you or kind of force you into doing things that you didn't want to do.
Yes, and so I have a little. I'm happy to share a little casting couch story with you. Is this...
Yes, by all means. Just
okay.
keep it PG. But yeah, tell us.
Sure. So I had a MySpace following, and so basically, through MySpace, I was able to. Yeah, MySpace.
MySpace.
Hey.
I was big on MySpace for a minute there too.
I was friends with Tom. I took that very seriously.
Isn't everybody friends with Tom?
It's funny.
Keep going.
I did a bunch of shows, and I got drummed up some management offers. One of the managers, he was like, all right, I got some connections in Hollywood, and I can set you up, and here's what I want to do. And he said, just what are you willing to do to make the deal happen? And I was like, yeah, anything. I moved out here.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what if you had to engage in an activity,
coitus,
a compromising activity.
Yeah.
And I was like, I said, well, at the time, this was before I was saved. So I was like, well, it depends on how hot she is. That's cool. And then he laid out a couple other scenarios that were just kind of like, whoa.
Right.
And I declined.
Yeah. So you avoided actually having to be on the casting couch.
Yes.
Good. I'm happy for you, brother. That would have been traumatic, to say the least. So you said you had a couple of small record deals or indie record labels. Was that just for shows, or did you actually have like singles or any tracks that came out like under another name, maybe?
I was going by another name. I ditched it. It's a terrible name. I don't even speak about it anymore. I've recreated my musical identity.
Yeah.
and none of them took off.
Okay.
You know, so that's kind of how I take it as a learning experience, and I'm like, all right, cool, and now here we are.
Well, you know, obviously it wasn't meant to be, but that's for good though, you know, because you're here. You seem to be relatively well adjusted. Seem like you're doing just fine, man. So I'm glad you dodged the bullet there.
Yeah, same here for sure.
So now, are you? You don't have to tell us exactly where you live, but do you live in the United States or?
Yes, I'm an American. I live in the U.S.
I figured you were an American, but right. Let's. I mean, we had a conversation about other countries, so I wasn't sure if you were living here or if you were still abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, what song do you want to listen to first? Do you guys want to hear? We got. Let's hear the new one because we played East Side last time we were on. Let's go ahead and play the Con Calma, which is the one which is a little bit about Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. After you played the song, man. I was pumped about it. So the day after I just got back in the studio, AKA right here.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going to knock out another one. And this is what what I came up with.
All right. Awesome, dude. All right. So if anyone wants to check out Jason's music, all you got to do is go to jasonwasagentile.com. He's got a SoundCloud. He's got his songs embedded right there. So you don't have to actually sign up for SoundCloud. But, Jason, I should also say this. My friend Erin Moffat was in the audience here. She also makes YouTube videos. She wanted to know if it's okay if you allow people to use your songs to be used in music or in videos on YouTube.
That's the whole goal. So
okay.
I wrote that original song for you, Red Pill. I really didn't write. My original intent was I wasn't trying to get a QAnon following or anything like that. I wanted to create some jams for the content creators to keep them going.
Cool. All right, so awesome. So yeah, I guess that's a yes, guys. Aaron, if you want to use Jason's music, you go ahead and do it. You just give him credit, props in the show notes, I guess. And then, all right, so also I do have somebody else that I need to thank. Looks like, my buddy TikTok is here. He gave me a $5 super chat. Thanks, buddy. And then Q, where we go when we go all, Q says, love for all my fellow patriots from South Carolina. Thank you very much. We're glad you're both in the audience tonight and appreciate those super chats. So let's go ahead and listen to Con Calma Remix by Jason Was a Gentile. Oh, hey, Jody. Jody's here too. She says she just gave a super chat. Thanks, Jody.
Jody.
Jason was a Gentile, Jason was a Gentile, QAnon remix, with the remix. We want that border walling, and we want to see Hillary Clinton perp walking. Our attorney general said that they found nothing. Still the Democratic propaganda stay bluffing. We want that border walling, and we want to see Hillary Clinton perp walking. Our attorney general said that they found nothing. Still the Democratic propaganda stay bluffing. Informer, you know I'm talking Bruce and Elior. A leaky boom boom down. Informer, you wiretapping Donald through the door. A leaky boom boom down. I got Democratic friends and they ain't really feeling me. I tell them the truth and they tell me it's a conspiracy. They can wrap their heads around the fact that this the narrative, but I keep it rolling cause I know that it's imperative. Informer, there shouldn't have been a FISA application. A leaky boom boom down. Call me Rosenstein, McKeebler, Lynch, you going to jail. A leaky boom boom down. We want that border walling, and we want to see Hillary Clinton perp walking. Our attorney general said that they found nothing. Still the Democratic propaganda stay bluffing. We want that border walling, and we want to see Hillary Clinton perp walking. Our attorney general said that they found nothing. Still the Democratic propaganda stay bluffing. Say I want a border with Pelosi, think I'm local. Schumer do a double tap, but that man is a dodo. And everybody on the hill get paid on the low blow. Donald Trump is showing up, they gotta get back and let it go. With a bullet big enough to take a rhino down. Hasta luego now. Look at Daddy Yankee record flipped into a Q song. Ocasio-Cortez is getting mad.
What's wrong?
Informer, there shouldn't have been a FISA application. A leaky boom boom down. Call me Rosenstein, McKeebler, Lynch, you going to jail. A leaky boom boom down. Informer, you wiretapping Donald through the door. A leaky boom boom down. We want that border walling, and we want to see Hillary Clinton perp walking. Our attorney general said that they found nothing. Still the Democratic propaganda stay bluffing. We want that border walling, and we want to see Hillary Clinton perp walking. Our attorney general said that they found nothing. Still the Democratic propaganda stay bluffing. Socialism is a catalyst of communism, and communism has a problem with the two classes, proletariat and bourgeoisie with eating asses. But the final result is them becoming a capitalist. We want free enterprise and the ability to rise at the rate we try. Where we go and we go. If you got the message, then answer the call. Informer, there shouldn't have been a FISA application. I leaky boom boom down. Call me Rosenstein, McCabler, Rattledge. You going to jail. I leaky boom boom down. We want that border walling, and we want to see Hillary Clinton perp walking. Our attorney general said that they found nothing. Still the Democratic propaganda stay bluffing. We want that border walling, and we want to see Hillary Clinton perp walking. Our attorney general said that they found nothing. Still the Democratic propaganda stay bluffing.
Oh my God! That was amazing, dude. That's probably my favorite. Gotta love it, you guys. Awesome. What did you guys think? A lot of people saying lots of good things in here. Jason, I do want to say, man, you have probably been the best received musician on the show thus far, dude. Big props.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
It's really good, dude. You are very, 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 very talented. I absolutely love it. We are going to hear East Side again, and then we're also going to play the Maga Cog. I said it. Maga Cog, yeah, I said it. We're going to wait till the end of the show. Oh, no. Poor network connection. Jason, are you there?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay, great. We did have a bit of a dropout there. You guys, I think that probably we're I don't know if we're going to get a copyright strike for playing that song, but hopefully they skip by us on that one. That was a great song. So, oh man, that's awesome. Well, Jason, anything else specific you want to tell us about yourself, or any other stuff you want to talk about? Because otherwise we'll get into the news and we'll just talk about it.
Cool. I want to engage with you, so you can reach me. You can reach me on my whoever wants to engage with me. I'm all about it. I'm just some rando QAnon here, and so you can get my contact information on jasonwasagentile.com, and I'm totally down with you, Red Pill, and I'm all about it.
Dude, anytime you want to make music for the show, I will play it. It'll be every single song because you're very, very talented, dude. I love it. And okay, great. Well, let's talk about the news. The first article I have pulled up here is from the Daily Caller, and wouldn't you know it, Dems and the media are preparing conspiracy theories to discredit the Mueller report, of course. So we've got a picture of Joy Reid right here. Joy Reid is probably one of my favorite MSNBC personalities because she is just so disconnected from reality and from what's actually going on in the world. Actually, real quick before I read the news, we got a couple more super chats to say thank you for. Let's see. Looks like, well, somebody gave a super chat, but then they retracted the message, so I don't know who that is. And then Jody did say, I'm so proud of you, Jason. God first always. That's awesome. Jody is amazing. Oh, wait, you guys. Before I do the news, I've got pictures of Muffin and Chi-Chi wearing their vests that Jody made. Let's see. And then Elizabeth Duckworth just gave a super chat. Thank you, Elizabeth. Appreciate it. And then Mario says, great rhythm and lyrics. Here, Matt Gio and I dancing. Excellent. Glad you guys are here. Okay, so let's see. Let me pull down the news, and here we go. We have a picture of Muffin wearing her vest that Jody made for her. This is so cute. Look at her. Look at her. My mom said that they've already been on several walks, and they both, you know, they don't like wearing clothes, but whatever. You know, I mean, if we're going out on a walk, they're gonna have to wear them. But that's Muffin right there. If you can see, Jody actually made it customized. It says corruption detector Muffin. Very cute. Very, very cute. All right, you guys. Now, here's a picture of Chi-Chi wearing his yellow Q vest. Look at that. He is such a handsome boy. Chi-Chi's probably the best looking Chihuahua that I've ever seen. He's a great dog. So my daughter and I were talking about this the other day because I got to get insurance for these dogs. Like Chi-Chi just had like a whole bunch of stuff, dental work done. So I found a provider that provides insurance for the animals. And since I've got we got heavy memory usage. Let me actually go and clean out my available memory, free up. There we go. So I'm going to be getting insurance for all these guys. And Chi-Chi is 10 years old, and Muffin is 5 years old. And then my cat Smokey is like 14 years old, I want to say. And then Simone is probably 16. All right, and then one more picture here. This is Muffin and Chi-Chi together. They are on their bed at my mom's house. My mom is here. She did send a chat earlier. I love you, Mom. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you like Jason's music because he's great. But look at them. They've got this like buff puff thing that they lay on the floor. And then I'm surprised that they don't keep my mom awake at night because they would not allow me to let them sleep on the floor. Like, they have got to sleep in the bed with us. Here we go. Okay, so let me close down some of my applications here because I've got a couple things I need to free up memory for. Closing down my email and closing down the preview. And then we need to free up the memory. Okay, and I do have a couple of other super chats I need to say thank you for. Vote Trump 2020 left a $49.99 super chat. Awesome, thank you very much for that. And they say, love Jason Was a Gentile song, great energy, and awesome lyrics. Very, very true. Very true. Okay. All right, so back to Joy Reid and the Democrats in the fake stream media. Democrats in the establishment media are floating conspiracy theories about special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation in order to discredit his findings of no collusion. Mueller delivered his report to Attorney General Bill Barr last weekend, and Barr sent a letter to Congress summarizing the report's principal findings. No evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia, and no conclusion on obstruction of justice by President Trump. Now, it's very important. This is one of the biggest things that I've seen the Democrats in the mainstream media harping over. There's no conclusion on obstruction of justice. Well, okay, let's just think about this. You can't have obstruction of justice if there's no crime created to be obstructing. So, of course, there's no findings on obstruction because there's nothing that was criminal that was done. And collusion is not even a crime. That's like talking about Hillary Clinton having intent to have her top secret emails delivered to the Chinese. Now, personally, I think that Hillary Clinton had plenty of intent. I think that she was paid to deliver that information and give up all those agents that were summarily executed in China for being double agents. But this is just a completely different situation. Now, Republicans in the White House have celebrated Barr's letter as an exoneration of the president. But Democrats in the media have seized on to what they see as an elaborate cover-up by Trump's hand-picked AG. Now, this is another little point that I like to bring up. Of course, the Attorney General was hand-picked by the president. All right, that's what happens. All right, the president handpicks whoever they would like to be the Attorney General, and then they are confirmed in Congress. So the very fact that they're trying to make something out of the fact that that Trump picked the AG is just ridiculous. Oh, looks like my friend Diana Davenport is here as well. The bumper sticker always told us the revolution wasn't going to be televised. That's very, very true. Diana, I'm so happy you're here, and thank you for that super chat. Also, Patty Patriot says, great music, great puppy pics, treats for the family pets. Thank you very much, Patty. I'll definitely buy those guys some rawhides. They're going to love it. Now, the New York Times reported Thursday, Democrats who, like all other lawmakers, have not seen the report, have all but accused Mr. Barr of covering up damaging information that it contains. Some have indicated that because Barr summarized a 300-page report in just 4-page letter, he must be oversimplifying or misinterpreting the results of Mueller's investigation. If Barr does not release the report in its entirety, including grand jury information, one anonymous Hill staffer told the Washington Post, then he will be participating in a cover-up. Ari Fleischer says, actually, he quotes that quote. And this person, that staffer, spoke on condition of anonymity. Ari Fleischer asks, why anonymity with this quote? The press gives it away too easily. A position like this should be on the record. Now, the other thing about protecting the rights of American citizens, there were a lot of people who were dragged before a grand jury and who were asked questions about, the Trump-Russia collusion delusion. And then all of those people were never charged with a crime. So therefore, because there is nothing that they did, it is completely illegal to release their information to the public. The Democrats and the media care absolutely nothing for the Constitution of our country. This is something that, if it was them, if it was their information being dragged out into the public square, then they would be up in arms. It would be a ridiculous, ridiculous situation. Now, just the idea, floating the idea that Hillary Clinton did something wrong by having a personal server in the bathroom of her summer home in Chappaquiddick or wherever it was. People, were just, crazy, Oh, my goodness, I can't believe that you would even suggest that Hillary Clinton did something wrong. Hey, Florida Sunsprite, Abby, she says, it's been a long time since I could make it. Yay, and a rawhide for you, 78. Thank you very much. I'll buy some vape juice. All right, so, and then Brian Butler, don't know who that is. It's a blue check mark. It shouldn't take this. Democrats in Congress have subpoena power and control the House floor. If they want to expose the GOP for facilitating another cover-up, they could do it today. Well, there's a lot of cover-ups, but I don't think any of them have taken place under the Trump administration. President Trump has been probably one of the most open executives we've had in this country so far. Also, my friend Patriot Lady Biker is here. You guys, we need to pray for her and her fiance. We talked about Patriot Lady Bikers, the fact that she was having some medical issues last night, but I completely forgot to mention her fiance, Bruce. So everyone, please keep Bruce and Diane in your prayers. Now, Jennifer Rubin, a columnist for the Washington Post, also accused Barr of a cover-up, writing that the AG would defeat the entire purpose of a special counsel by weighing in to exonerate the president of any wrongdoing and to provide a scant summary of hundreds of pages of evidence. Again, this is how the process works. If the special counsel finds wrongdoing, finds illegal things being done, it is then put forward to the Attorney General, who would be the one under the Department of Justice to decide if they were going to take action against illegal things that had taken place. Basically, we've got a lot of ridiculous quotes from the fake stream media. Here is a little video we're going to watch. This is from Crap News Network.
So, Juliet, it shouldn't be an obstacle, and yet Bill Barr isn't committing to doing it. I mean, what would you recommend Jerry Nadler do, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee?
If I were Nadler, I would demand that what he can release, he releases right now, and then what's going to be fought over will be released later. In other words, don't hold up the release or whatever Barr is envisioning the release will be. Get as much out as soon as possible. I have to tell you from the outside, I cannot believe how bad Barr is fumbling this. They had a story of no collusion on Sunday. By Tuesday, the story is the cover-up, right? And if Barr actually wants to release and have people read this, it's only going to get worse. People are filling in all the rumors and gossip. No one has any idea.
Right.
Barr is fumbling this if he is a political beast who wants to protect the president at this stage.
Right. I mean, and here, of course, the polls, and, polls can change, but the polls after everything came out were still that 56% of the American people felt there was collusion, even though Barr, of course, made it clear that his summary was that Mueller had concluded that did not happen. So, and this is the point. This is Barr's summary that this is based upon. When it comes to Barr's summary, how do you sum up 300 to 400 pages in 48 hours?
Apparently, these people have never heard of a book report, okay? They've never heard of Cliff Notes. They've also never heard of state secrets, sources and methods. Any of these things that would be within the special counsel's report have to be redacted before they can just put this out. But here's the thing. The Democrats know this, all right? I would guess that the mainstream media actually knows this. But they are putting these things together and confounding the American public. Even though you've got less and less people on a daily basis watching, CNN or MSNBC, this is a delusion. This is a fantasy, a fever dream for the mainstream media. I do need to thank Steelers Seventh Heaven. Thank you very much for that super chat, Steelers. Former Attorney General Eric Holder, who should know better than anybody else, praised Democratic Rep. Adam Schiff for continuing to insist that despite Barr's letter, the Trump campaign colluded with Russia. He is insane. Eric Holder probably dodged one of the largest bullets of any attorney generals in the history of the United States, having to pay absolutely nothing for his part that he played in the Fast and Furious cover-up. If there's ever a cover-up, it was Fast and Furious. Sharon Barasa says, prayers for everyone recovering from brain surgery. I think it worked. Oh. I hope that you're doing okay, Sharon. Definitely prayers in my heart for you. Brain surgery is no joke, so I hope that it worked for sure. Now, next, there's a difference between compelling evidence of collusion and whether the special counsel concludes that he can prove beyond a reasonable doubt the criminal charge of conspiracy. This is Schiff in an interview with ABC. Meanwhile, independent Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders refused to respond when asked if he would accept Mueller's report if there is indeed no evidence of collusion. Bernie living in a fantasy world. Commentator Max Boot went so far as to suggest Barr hadn't even read the entire Mueller report before releasing his letter clearing the president, asking incredulously how on earth was Barr able to digest and summarize a 300-page report in less than 48 hours. Maybe it was the only thing he did, you know? Maybe he worked overtime. Maybe he didn't sleep, you know? Barbara Boxer says, cover up in plain sight. Release the Mueller report. 4 pages of sanitized language doesn't cut it for a country that believes in truth and justice. Barbara, go back to retirement. That's what I say. Now, this is Joy Reid. Joy Reid says, time is an enemy for the truth in this case because it will set in the public's mind, particularly in the minds of those who support Donald Trump, that what Barr said is the answer, and it may or may not be. Guess what? It is the answer. He's the Attorney General, okay? This is what he's decided based on the information provided to him. Also, EO2 Dave says, Patriots, Americans, support our country by coming to Washington, D.C. on the 4th of July to show the world we the people are united. I think that's a great idea. And I may or may not be there, you guys. If I am, I'll probably be anonymous, but I'll still talk to everybody. Say hello. Okay, so MSNBC's Rachel Maddow, who has spent much of her programming over the past 2 years on the Russian collusion conspiracy, has been at the forefront of the effort to delegitimize Barr and convince her viewers that Mueller could still have something on Trump. Slate's Willa Paskin writes about Maddow. For Maddow, every piece of information remains a clue that might take down the Trump empire. There is no adjustment for how the report has been widely received, no skepticism about what the report might actually contain, just cockamamie connections, the feverish belief that every single thing we don't know is the all-important fact, that the smoking gun of collusion is out there, and that, yes, Robert Mueller is still going to swoop in and save us. Sorry, Rachel, it's not going to happen. Paul Marshall, my buddy, says, all I know for sure is hell loses. That's right. God wins. God is in control. Gotta love it. So Maddow's MSNBC colleague Joy Reid asserted last week that the seeds of a cover-up are here because of Barr's role in the conclusion of the investigation. Again, he's the Attorney General. This is how the rules and regulations of our country are written. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. In an attempt to address the conspiracies floating around his letter, Barr sent a follow-up letter to congressional leaders on Friday. We actually went over that yesterday. The follow-up letter indicated that, yes, the full report will be made public, save security-related redactions. No, the White House will not be allowed a privilege review before it is released. And yes, Mueller's team is working with Barr on the release. Barr also noted that the first page was not intended to be a summary of the entire report, rather a summary of its principal conclusions. The letter served to knock down claims made without evidence that Barr had wildly misrepresented Mueller's conclusions or was planning on keeping the final report under lock and key. Jason, tell me. Yeah. What kind of stuff are you up against? You're wearing a MAGA hat. You know, do you live in an area where that's acceptable? Like, can you go outside wearing a MAGA hat and not have to worry about people punching you in the face?
It's dicey. It's dicey. Seriously, man.
I bet.
Real.
In my neighborhood, it's definitely like there's Antifa that live around me. Like, so it's very dangerous. I've been yelled at. I've been chased for a short period of time. I've had people just be very rude to me when I went into a business and this person was behind the counter and clearly didn't like what I was wearing. Also, Bush 63 Master says, is it just me or is it much easier to detect butthurt closet libs after the release of the Mueller report? Jason rocks and keep queuing it up, RP. Thank you so much for that super chat. Yeah, these people have been super, super depressed ever since this Mueller report came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they won't even accept it. Like, even you can say to a Democrat or just someone who doesn't want to believe it and say, hey, are you glad that our president was not colluding?
Yeah.
And they're like, some people will legit be like, no.
All they care about is getting Trump. It's great news. Guess what, guys? Great news. Our president is not an agent of Russia. Why are you not excited?
Party time.
Yeah, totally. Oh, Krista Lynn just said pencil neck shit. Did you get a tweet from, or a text message from President Trump earlier today, Jason? Are you on President Trump's text message list?
I'm not. No, I should be.
You should be. I'll send it to you after the show. But I took a nap in this afternoon, and I woke up, and President Trump's tweet had come to me, and quite literally, his campaign has produced T-shirts with Adam Schiff with a pencil neck, and he's wearing clown makeup. Okay? So if you donate $28, which I did earlier today, then you get your own pencil neck Schiff T-shirt. So I actually have an article about that. I'm going to show that off in a minute. AJ Johnson also said no collusion or obstruction, but still a whole lot of delusion. Where we go one, we go all. Thank you very much for that super chat. $17. That's the magic number. 17. All right, so how about this, Jason? Have you heard? They haven't done a thing for us, President Trump says. President Trump officially ends payments to Guatemala, El Salvador, and Nicaragua. Good news.
Yeah, we like that.
Yeah, this is great news, you guys. Okay, so according to Gallup, 5 million third world immigrants from Latin America to the United States in the next 12 months. That's how many people are estimated to be coming here from all of these caravans. If you look on your screen, everybody, you can see a picture of an immigrant caravan. It is people 2 lanes wide on a highway, plus the sidewalk, plus there is rows of people joining on one side, and it stretches as far as the eye can see. So this is great news. This is great news and a great move from President Trump. So it is amazing that President Trump has finally ended the payments to these Central American countries. There's absolutely no good reason to be sending them all this money, okay? You know what? Guess what, guys? We'll keep that money, we'll hold on to it, and we'll use it to send everyone back to you. We'll put them on a frigate, on a big boat, and get them back to you. Sean W. says, remind people to click like, Minnesotan wheelchair guy. Hey, of course, man. Thank you so much for that super chat. Everybody, if you could, we've got 1,953 people in the chat. If you have not liked this broadcast yet, please like the broadcast. It helps YouTube show other people that they should be watching. You know that the news is in short supply nowadays. So anything you can do to help me bring the message to people, get real information out to them, I would so appreciate it. Yosemite Sam, you are not banned, friend. I just see that. You guys, I just noticed that it only says top chat. How can I make it say all chat? Let's see. Live chat. Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry. I will definitely see every message that you guys put through here now. Thank you very much. No one is banned. I promise. We've got 2,002 in the room and 730 likes, roughly. So I would also appreciate it, everybody, if you could go ahead and share this broadcast with your favorite social media platforms. That'd be great. Jen M says, I'm late tonight. Love you. And is this Jason with the song? Yeah, this is Jason with the song. We've already listened to one song, guys, to anybody who has shown up a little bit late. Jason is an amazing artist. He writes great music, and he can perform. He can produce. Jason, this is one thing I forgot to ask you, buddy. I know that you said that, music is not like your number one bag now. I mean, this is like a hobby, but albeit a very, very good one. But are you interested in helping other patriots to make music? Like if somebody wanted to put together a song, would you be able to make beats for them and stuff like that?
Yeah. So if we're talking about features, so where I excel is I write hooks. Like I do the verses because the verse is necessary. But if there's other people who, I can hook you up literally with a hook.
Excellent. All right, guys. So once again, I just want to remind you that the website to find Jason and to get in touch with him is very easy. It's jasonwasagentile.com. I'm going to put that into the chat box right there. And if you guys want to hold on to that, and then you can get a hold of Jason after the show. All right, so back to the news. There currently are at least 1.1 million Salvadoran immigrants in the United States. The number represents about 1/5 of the total population of El Salvador, 5.7 million in 2007, according to the Salvadoran Department of Statistics and Censuses. Here is a map right here, state proportion of the Salvadoran-born population of the United States. No surprise, the highest density is in Texas and California. We've also got Miami. We know that they are trying to flip Florida from a red to a blue state. That would do it, guys. If we have a ton more immigrants coming there, then it's very possible that Ron DeSantis and his other people in government there might be in a bad position in the next election. Also, looks like Virginia. Yeah, that's Virginia and Washington, D.C. Very, very high population. New York as well. These are all major problem areas. Now, there's an important distinction to make. Legal immigration, all right? People who come here the right way, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? If people have the wherewithal to get themselves pulled up and out of whatever horrible situation they're in, and they come to America legally, and they assimilate, and they become Americans, then that's great. But if people come here illegally, and they abuse the system, and they push out people who have come here legally, that's a big problem. Now, I just heard the statistic the other day. Something like, I want to say it was from like the 20s, like maybe like 1924 until like the mid 60s. The United States completely halted immigration in the United States because we had so many immigrants that came here and they were not assimilating. We had to assimilate all these people and make them Americans. And then in the 60s, I want to say it was, what's his name? Johnson. It was Lyndon B. Johnson that passed whatever laws we had for immigration at that time. And somebody asked, did I say 5 million in the caravan? No, 5.7 million as of 2007 that are here. Now, but 1.1 million are in the United States currently, but the total population of El Salvadorian immigrants as of 2007 was 5.1, or, oh my gosh, wait a second. I just lost it. 5.7 million. Okay, so the caravan is actually 20,000. Says a 20,000 strong caravan of illegal migrants is currently organizing for its trek to the United States. This does not count any of these other migrant caravans that have already come. On Friday, President Trump told ABC he was cutting financial aid to Honduras, Nicaragua, and El Salvador. Trump told ABC they haven't done a thing for us. And they haven't. They've done nothing to stop these people from coming here illegally. TikTok says if they can walk, they can do some paperwork.
True.
That's true that. Roger Sloan says he needs to put his foot on the neck of Mexico. And I think we are. President Trump was just talking about this very recently, just the other day, right before he said he was cutting off the money. He said he was going to close down the border to Mexico. I am 100% for that. We need the border completely locked down. Trisha Nordby says, just a super chat. Thank you very much for that super chat, my friend. And TikTok, Method says TikTok nailed it. He totally did nail it. If you guys are going to walk thousands of miles, then you can do some paperwork, put a stamp on it, send it in, and then you'll be able to fly here, okay? Or you'll be able to drive or something. It's ridiculous to think that they're doing this the way they are, and we have allowed it to go on for this long. Now, the Daily Mail reported Donald Trump has announced that he is cutting financial assistance to the Northern Triangle countries of El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. Trump hinted at the cuts on Friday as a Mexican minister claimed that the mother of all caravans, with more than 20,000 people, was being organized by Honduras. ABC reported Trump as saying, I've ended payments to Guatemala, to Honduras, and to El Salvador. No money goes there anymore. Trump claimed those financial aid programs would end, saying we're not paying them anymore because they haven't done a thing for us. Most migrants from the three countries come to the U.S. Now, how about this? I actually reported on this several months ago, and it was supposed to be like some hundreds of millions of dollars. Wouldn't that money be better spent here in America? Okay, we've got infrastructure, crumbling infrastructure, the roads, especially in Midwestern and northern states that have hard winters. The roads are horrible, all right? We've got bridges that are falling down. We've got veterans who are completely sucked out of the system, okay? They are unable to do things. Oh, Greg Gilman's here. He says, where we go, when we go all. Glad you're here, buddy. We have things that need to be taken care of here in America. If we're going to spend that money, and first of all, we don't have that money to spend, all right? This is just piling up in the national debt. But if we're going to be spending money, we need to be spending it here on our own citizens. What do you think, Jason?
I totally agree, man, 100%. We also should take some of that money and throw it into teaching our kids how to code.
Yes.
In school systems.
Yes, that would be a great idea. We need to be pushing education that makes sense. Did we get rid of Common Core? Did President Trump sign something getting rid of Common Core a couple months ago?
I'm not sure.
I think he did. We're going to hear about it in the chat, so that's why I like to post things out loud like that. But we have a real problem with the education system here in America. There is a book, I believe it's by Charlotte Iserbeat. It's about how horrible the education system here is in America and how it has been completely co-opted by the communists and build so that they can brainwash them at a young age. If you guys know anything about communists and communism, then you will see it at work here in America, the way that they do things. Someone mentioned Joseph Goebbels to me today. This was something, he was the head of propaganda for Germany during the war. And one of Karl Marx's favorite sayings was that tell a lie long enough and it becomes the truth, something like that. But both of them had very similar things to say. So the next article we have up here is about occasional cortex. Alexandria occasional cortex. She shut down a heckler during a town hall. Look at this, the bastion of free speech, communism here with Alexandria occasional cortex. Democratic New York rep Alexandria occasional cortex scolded a heckler during her Friday town hall after the audience member seemingly yelled that former Republican South Carolina rep Bob Inglis is a moron. Inglis and NBC News analyst Heather C. McGee joined Ocasio-Cortex and MSNBC anchor Chris Hayes on stage during the town hall, which centered on the Green New Deal. The four of them were discussing whether or not Occasional Cortex's progressive stances rivaled the grassroots Tea Party movement when Inglis brought up the idea of focusing solely on climate change policy as a way to make progress on the issue. Let's go ahead and listen to Occasional Cortex shutting down a heckler.
The fourth most powerful person in the Democratic Party. I understand why people would say Tea Party of the left. The exception is that my district is overwhelmingly progressive, and our representative was not representing our actual position. So this is not a Tea Party of the left. This is a return to American representative democracy. Here's a really big difference. The Koch brothers funded the Tea Party, and everyday people funded my campaign.
George Soros funded her campaign. Let's not lie about that, Occasional Cortex. George Soros and his communist organizations were behind your campaign. All right, we're going to continue listening.
I want to come back to this point first. But when people say, there's two ways to interpret the Tea Party, right? One is as a sort of feckless and nihilistic enterprise, right, that has led to this bad situation. The other is a very effective political movement. For instance, if you are organizing a political movement because you don't want action on climate change, the Tea Party was an effective movement. They literally primaried you and got you out, and they delayed action on climate change. So at some level, it's like, I wonder this all the time with progressive activists. Like, when you think, Heather, of Tea Party of the left, do you think about that as a good or bad thing?
I think about the country we want to see. Just the Green New Deal, this idea, even when pressure tested and talking about higher taxes and, saying, oh my gosh, Democrats are proposing it, it's more popular than the Republican tax cuts, the $1.5 trillion we just found.
It is absolutely not more popular than the Republican tax cuts. The Republican tax cuts actually benefited America, okay? There have been so many, even progressive organizations that have come out against the Green New Deal because it is so insane. Complete insanity. We're going to kill people immediately. We're going to get rid of all of our cows. No more milkshakes. No more hamburgers. Okay? No more leather goods. What are you guys going to do? We can't fly. We can't fly. Hawaii is going to be completely isolated. Alaska is now going to be basically part of Russia because we can't even get up there. Mario says, send this woman to Venezuela with no money for 1 month to live the real socialism. It is easy to defend socialism sitting on her capitalist rear. That's right. These people don't understand, or maybe they realize that if we implement socialism here in the United States as part of the political upper crust, the elite, the embedded elite, socialism isn't going to touch them. All right? They're going to be the ones getting their bread and their milk first, okay, while the rest of us are forced to drink soy. Okay, we're going to have all the men in America growing, female body parts because we're not going to be having cow milk to drink anymore. It's ridiculous. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the part where she heckles the heckler.
Give away to corporations and the wealthy. It's more popular than the wall. So I think when we have this idea that left ideas are moving and shaking inside the political atmosphere right now, it's true, but they're left in terms of the inside of Washington. In terms of the American people, they're the centrist ideas because they're about taking back our democracy and our economy.
But I worry that what we do is if we have basically the mirror image of a Trump rally on climate change, that we drive all the people away that could come our way and solve this thing now. And then could we come back to things like universal basic income? Could we come back to health care? Right. Because, I was in 2 Congresses that were totally consumed by health care. You can't do it in a single Congress, the entire Green New Deal. It is literally impossible with the number of committee references that you would have in the course of that. So is it possible that we say, listen, climate change is the thing that we're seeing the whites of its eyes. We've got to act now. Can we come back maybe to universal basic income a little bit later?
Universal basic income. They want to pay people to sit around and do absolutely nothing. How insane is it? Okay? You take away the idea that someone has to work for what they do, that without the hard effort that you put in to bettering yourself, to taking care of your family, they're just going to give you food stamps and a bridge card to sit around and do nothing, to watch Maury Povich all day or to watch MSNBC and CNN. We've got a couple of thanks that we need to give out. My friend Diana Davenport says, countries want our money. They can trade for it. That's right. They want to hold all of the wealth. Janet Young says it's all virtue signaling with no follow through. That's right. All these things sound like great ideas. We want to take care of people. We want to give people, some type of, basic standard of living. But where is it going to come from? All right. We can't just keep printing money out of nowhere from the Federal Reserve. People don't realize that for every dollar we get from the Federal Reserve, we immediately owe them like $1.05 or whatever it is, whatever the interest rate is at that point. We are forever slaves to this debt system that they have put on us. It just doesn't make any sense. All right, let's hear him about to get heckled.
No, hey. That's unacceptable. And that's the difference between me and Trump.
That's good. I appreciate that.
No, I think the difference between her and Trump is that he went to West Point, okay, and he is a master of game theory. He's also a very successful president of the United States of America. He was actually elected. Alexandria Occasional-Cortex followed up on a casting call, okay, and they just inserted her into this race with these lies that the socialists were telling. So let's see. The gentleman, he was talking about how we can't do this in a single Congress. We can't, okay? Because people are smart enough to realize that this is a bad idea. So then someone called him a moron. She said that's unacceptable. And then Ocasio-Cortez was likely pointing out the fact that at Donald Trump's rally in Michigan on Thursday, some in the crowd chanted, AOC sucks. Let's go ahead and listen to that.
Think about the fact that every mainstream leading Democratic contender is taking the advice of a freshman congresswoman who 3 weeks ago didn't know the 3 branches of government.
Right?
I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty scary. You guys, you're not very nice. And neither is what that policy would do to this country.
That's right. The Green New Deal would destroy America. Absolutely destroy America. Okay. Man, I am using, you guys, I just want everyone to know, we are using 90% of my CPU's capacity on this broadcast. This computer is running hot. So if something happens, I just want everyone to know that we didn't get shut down. It might be actually my computer that overheats. So I just made some adjustments here, and hopefully it's going to go well. So the chant broke out as Donald Trump Jr. criticized the Democratic Party for following her lead. As the chant subsided, Trump Jr. said, "You guys aren't very nice, and neither is what the policy would do to the country. It would destroy America." Recent reports suggest the Green New Deal, which seeks to phase out fossil fuel usage within 12 years, could cost tens of trillions of dollars that do not exist. The GND's popularity has risen as many of the Democrat presidential candidates have come out in support of it. Democratic Senators Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts and Cory Booker of New Jersey, who are both running, have signed on as Senate co-sponsors of the proposal. But of course, they couldn't be bothered to actually vote for it when it was brought up the other day in session, because it's the worst idea for this country. It's just a bad, bad deal. The green bad deal. All right, so moving on, Laura Ingraham, hero of Fox News, mocked MSNBC's Rachel Maddow for wearing a tinfoil hat on Russia collusion. This is a great meme here. The picture of Maddow wearing a tinfoil hat. Fox News host Laura Ingraham mocked MSNBC host Rachel Maddow as a tinfoil hat wearer whose Russia conspiracy theories fell flat. Let's listen to Laura.
With a mad media rush to find the elusive next scandal. Yes, the week began on kind of a somber note for our friends in the press. They had to deliver the terrible news that the President of the United States did not conspire with a foreign government to steal an American election.
Attorney General William Barr says that the special counsel found no evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia.
They found no evidence that the Russians and people with Trump and the Trump campaign colluded with the Russians.
There is an honest level of sadness and disappointment and disorientation.
Now, looks like the dogs died or something. All of their dogs died. They're all depressed. Well, in the aftermath of a 2-year nonstop hype machine, you might think they'd take a moment and examine their errors, a little introspection, a little thinking about what went wrong, everything that caused them to overreach. Well, if you thought that, you'd be wrong. Because now they moved on to cover all the new Trump scandals. Well, the media claims that this is all about accountability, but to the rest of us, their story choices are obvious. Inflict as much pain on the president as possible, no matter how minuscule the story. Well, you don't believe me? Now take a look at some of the new scandals that they're trying to cook up after the Mueller letdown. First, here's Anderson Cooper with an alert.
Much more breaking news tonight. Up next, the president's nominee for Interior Secretary gets grilled about our report last night. Senator, the questions surrounding Bernhardt issuing drilling permits during the government shutdown, some of which went to his former clients. Do you buy his reasoning as to why he did that?
I understand he has a list in his pocket of all the people that he's not supposed to have contact with. And we also learned that he doesn't keep a schedule. And yet in his testimony, he said he's met with all these environmental people. How does he even know that if he doesn't keep a schedule?
He doesn't keep a schedule. Oh, my gosh, arrest him. Oh, it gets better. Still reeling from being exposed as a tinfoil hat wearer after her Russia theories all fell flat. Rachel Maddow has a new conspiracy to unravel.
The Trump administration actually has no plan to go back to the moon. And part of the reason we know this is because Mike Pence admitted it in another awkward part of his speech. He was just going there to give them a speech, and somebody told him, hey, maybe we could do that a couple minutes before he walked onto stage. And so he hoped announcing it would make him look like JFK, maybe?
At least she didn't actually call into question the moon landing. That's good. Come on, at the end of the day, nothing ever compares.
The moon landing. She went there. Laura Ingraham is great. I love the look on her face there. I do want to say that Alexandria Occasional Cortex is in the audience tonight. Did you see that, Jason? She commented earlier.
No. What did she say? I didn't see it.
She said, what if AOC was a white hat? I think that's a hilarious idea. Not a white hat. I'm definitely going to say that AOC is not a white hat. So Ingram began her Friday night news show with a somber note for our friends in the press who had to deliver the terrible news that the President of the United States did not conspire with the foreign government. Methods also said that he thinks that if Hillary had won, that the media would have taken the last 2 years off. I think that anytime you have something in the news about Hillary Clinton, they decide to take the night off. They never want to talk about anything damaging to her. So obviously, the media is in a really, really sad position because of the information that came out. Oh no, the president is not an agent of Russia, and it's terrible because we're not going to be able to take him down. Very, very sad state in our country when you've got the media not interested in actually producing quality work. All they want to do is take down our president. And you see it. You see their 4 a.m. talking points. You see how they all start talking about the exact same thing. You know, what is the next thing that we can get rid of President Trump for? What are we going to talk about so that we can take him out?
Let's focus on making this country great again and serving our citizens.
Yes, exactly. That's what we should be doing. And that's one of the things that really separates the left from the right. The left is only interested in the takedown and the consolidation of power, their own power. They want to be in control because they have this delusion that they're the ones who know better. I'll be the first to tell you I don't have all the answers. I think that it requires a bipartisanship, okay? We've got to have people coming together because we've got so many disparate views in this country, all right? There is no one view that is better than the next unless we're talking about saving unborn babies. There's only one view on that one.
True.
Yes, true that. Christine Seibel says, love you, Red Pill. I love you, Christine. Thank you very much for that super chat. Also, oh yeah, that was the last one. That was the only one. All right, so let's take a look at this. Jussie Smollett has created a firestorm across America. In Portland, we've got a lot of incidences of Smollett syndrome, a string of MAGA attacks reported, but evidence is missing. So here is a tweet right here. This woman, Jenny Brusso, says, queer and trans people in Portland. My partner, Bree, was just attacked by 2 young white men in a maroon Bronco on Suburban at Southeast 7th and Madison. She was walking to her car after work, and they pulled up beside her, yelled, die effing, die, and threw an unopened beer can at her. I don't think that happened. This girl looks like she was riding a bike. Maybe she was intoxicated because she lives in Seattle. Portland. Either one. She was riding her bike intoxicated and probably fell off. She's got some real scratches on her glasses there. It does not look like a real incident of MAGA hate to me. Over the past few months, several media outlets in the Portland area have reported a drastic rise in attacks perpetrated against the LGBTQAP+ community in the area. This article from the Portland Mercury says many members of Portland's queer community are feeling on edge after a week of widely shared social media reports of anti-LGBTQ violence in the area. Posts first started circulating early last week after a transgender woman was allegedly assaulted in the Buckman neighborhood at Southeast Portland during the early morning hours of Sunday, February 10th. Oh, early morning. She was walking home from the bar. Okay, she was definitely walking home from the bar. The woman started a GoFundMe page to help pay her medical bills after the attack, and a police report obtained by the Mercury confirms details listed on the GoFundMe, including that she suffered injuries on her hands and elbows. She fell face first. She was walking home drunk and she fell face first. The woman declined an interview with the Mercury at the time. The Mercury isn't naming the woman or linking to the page out of respect for her privacy. Over the course,
Why?
Right? I thought that she started a GoFundMe. Sounds like she wants people to know who she is and for her to have people getting information so that they can donate money to her for another fake MAGA attack. Yeah. Over the course of the last week, several stories of other alleged attacks have begun circulating on social media. Cameron Whitten, executive director of the Q Center, interesting, said she's been notified of at least 3 other incidents against LGBTQ people that have taken place since that weekend. One widely circulated social media post alleges that on Sunday, February 17th, 2 men driving a red Bronco near Southeast 7th and Madison yelled slurs at a queer woman who was walking to her car and threw a full can of beer at her, leaving her face bruised. The Mercury has seen photos and social media posts about this incident and others, but has not received confirmation or additional details from the survivors or from PPB. However, the fact that such reports are circulating, some of them including photos of injuries allegedly sustained from the attacks, is certainly enough to set Portland's queer community on edge. We do have a super chat I need to thank. My friend Louie. I think if there was a high-level arrest, these fools would maybe stop their stupid plans. They would be scared. Also, what happened to AOC's laundering charges? Well, the wheels of justice turn slowly, my friend. If we just went after everybody that we knew was guilty, then we probably would be called out for running some type of, secret police force, or Trump was some type of a dictator. I think that we're probably going to see high-level arrests happen in a mass scale. Okay, I think we're probably going to see a lot of people go down at the exact same time. Maybe some type of, targeted campaign where we just go out and maybe the National Guard arrests all these people all at once. Because if we just take down one, then everyone's going to rally around that person. But it's going to have to be very, very obvious, and it's going to have to happen in a calculated way. We're going to have to see these people tried in the court of law, not just the court of public opinion, because that's all it is right now. Also, thank you for that super chat, buddy. Whitten said the Q Center has received many calls in the last week from LGBTQ people worried about their safety. It's been a challenge. This is all coming by surprise, and everyone's really feeling hurt. In its press release, PPB said it has not received any reports of possible bias crimes in the last week, but that it is aware of the social media posts and has proactively reached out to community stakeholders to brief them on what we have learned and to encourage any victims or witnesses to contact law enforcement. There was also similar accounts on the Portland State University student newspaper website, the Oregonian newspaper, KATU News, and even national news sites such as the Daily Beast, LGBTQ Nation, and Gay Star News. There's just one Jussie Smollett Covfefe Sive problem with these reports. It appears as though they are all just hoaxes. Local journalist Andy No has penned a story for the New York Post chronicling these alleged attacks and trying to source factual information. He's discovering that there isn't any. All of these accounts of attacks against trans and queer communities in Portland are based off of someone said it on the internet hearsay. This seems to be rooted in some kind of internal fear, as No wrote. In progressive Portland, where the hashtag resistance is mainstream, stories like Stanford's feed into a whisper campaign of violent homophobes, transphobes, and racists lurking in every corner. A moral panic has now been ignited. Look at that. People are so afraid of us because we love our country and we are committed to our God. In this story, No focuses on 2 of the more well-known alleged attacks and finds a lack of evidence to support any of them. When he asks the victims of these for information or if they want to do a sit-down interview, they just tell No off. When looking over police reports, No notes that there is not only a lack of anything that points to these attacks, as being at the hands of neo-Nazi Trump supporters, but one report seems to point to the alleged victim being drunk and falling down on the sidewalk. I called it. They have been making up a story to save face. Within days, the number of alleged hate attacks ballooned through uncorroborated and vague online rumors. These stories were then amplified by progressive media, nonprofit groups, businesses, and politicians. Activists, driven by their own personal grievances, then launched a crusade to find the phantom suspects, doxing and targeting innocent people in the process. Some of these people have started removing these posts after these alleged attacks, as they have apparently been caught lying about it. Innocent people are now being doxxed, with their pictures and personal information being distributed online, resulting in continued threats and harassment. Those who spread the rumors were cheered for bringing awareness to LGBTQ issues. Lost in all this was any concern for the people victimized in the process. One of the men who says he was falsely accused in the panic is Robert Zerfing, a 35-year-old Battleground, Washington resident. He used to attend conservative rallies in the Portland area, but has since renounced the Proud Boys for their involvement in brawls. Jenny Brusso claimed that her partner's attackers drove a maroon Bronco or Suburban. Doxers identified that Zerfing owned a maroon SUV and used that as evidence he was involved in the attack, even though the car was repossessed 3 months ago. He showed me one of the many death threats he now receives. I guess we will find out when we pay that address a visit, the text reads, for hate crimes in the last week you were involved in. Payback's a bitch mother effer. In a never-ending effort to pursue the truth, No reached out to local media that covered these stories, asking them if they verified any of these claims, and if so, what information was uncovered. He quickly discounted and was given the cold shoulder. The Portland Mercury published multiple stories and printed a claim from a woman who alleged via email that she was the victim of a brutal gay bashing in downtown Portland. The article does not cite any records, and I could find no corroborating evidence that this actually happened as described. David Munyon says, "Who would throw a perfectly good beer? Fake news." I think you're probably right, David. What a waste. Now, when I asked reporter Blair Stenvik what steps she took to independently verify that allegation, she said, "I'm not interested in discussing this with you." Portland Mercury's news editor Alex Zielinski also declined to comment on my inquiry. The paper's reports were widely shared and used to legitimize the panic. Far-left apologists at the Portland Mercury are doubling down on their promotion of fake news. And Alex Zielinski retweets Andy No's article here. She says, "Interested in learning why some LGBTQ Portlanders don't report crimes against them to the police? Skip this harmful, solutionless clickbait and read Blair Stenvik's important coverage." So skip the coverage where a real journalist is trying to do actual journalism, and instead read our clickbait, fear-mongering reporting. Ridiculous. So why go through all this trouble and make up these stories? One can only assume that they simply want to maintain their victim status by trying to paint Trump supporters as the bad guys, even in progressive Portland, where the LGBTQ plus crowd rules the city. It's just a travesty that you have people like this in America. It perfectly encapsulates the ideas of the left. They don't care about facts, okay? They don't care about the truth. All they care about is getting their own way and delegitimizing people. It's not okay.
Yeah, and you find that the more you engage in conversation with people who are staunch Democrats, and you just take like a objective standpoint, you find again and again it's all about emotional reactions to news, emotional reactions to everything.
Yep, that's correct. It's all about the emotions. Ma feels. Okay, so did you hear about Joe Biden getting taken down by the Democratic Party? Jason, did you hear about that? Did you watch the show last night?
I watched a piece of the show, but I was at work. I couldn't watch the whole thing.
It's not a problem. I don't.
What happened?
Okay, so a woman who was, I think she was running for AG in a state here in America. Joe Biden came up behind her and did his classic move. He placed his hands on her shoulders, probably got a little too close around the midsection, and he sniffed the back of her neck and her hair. Now, if someone wants you to sniff the back of their neck and their hair, that's a good move, okay? But you go up to a stranger and you do it to them unsolicited, and it's way creepy. So she came out and she told her story. Now, this is some additional coverage on this from the Gateway Pundit. This is war. Democratic Party elites take out touchy-feely Joe Biden before his campaign even begins. Jim Hoft at the Gateway Pundit reporting, and it's over before it even started. The Democrat Party elites eliminated Joe Biden from the 2020 contenders list. Look at creepy Uncle Joe Biden. The Obama.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
the picture.
Yeah, this is the picture.
Dude.
I don't know which one of these ladies he did that to, but I would imagine he's probably got one hand around her waist on the right. He's probably got his palm full on the small of her back on the left, because that's
meme worthy right there.
It is meme worthy. We're gonna go ahead and share that. Save 2 downloads. Saved. Excellent. All right. So the Obamas support Kamala. They don't want crazy Uncle Joe to run. Biden is defying them, thinking he can beat Trump, and only he can beat Trump. Well, out of the blue, a Bernie Sanders Latina from Nevada comes out of nowhere to announce that Biden kissed my hair when she didn't complain previously. Sanders and Kamala don't want Biden in. Of course, Joe Biden has a long history of touching and feeling stories. Photos and video of young girls, too. Disgusting. But it never bothered the Democrats because of their liberal privilege. But this is war. And now even Vox.com is trashing Joe Biden. So Emerald Robinson from Vox, or actually, maybe she doesn't work at Vox. Notice, this is Vox running this piece. Why? Obama is backing Kamala. Joe Biden has been told not to run. He wants Joe anyway. So they're going for the knockout early. Will it stop Joe from running? My guess, yes, it will. Hopefully, I don't want it to be Kamala Harris and Trump. I want it to be Joe Biden and Trump, in the same way that I wanted it to be Elizabeth Warren and Trump, because they both have so much you can talk about. Kamala Harris is a notorious ladder climber, shall we say. She's willing to do anything to get elected, But Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren just have so much baggage. I think they would make excellent running mates with each other. But to go up against Trump, it would be glorious.
I agree, man. It would really be fun to watch Trump and Biden debate.
Oh God, Joe Biden would not be able to hold his own against President Trump. Trump really is a master orator. The thing is, he's willing to say anything. All right. He's not going to shut his mouth on certain subjects, and he can just destroy someone if he wants to.
He's quick. He's quick in the mind, too.
Yes.
He's very quick, moment to moment.
Yes,
when he's in conversation.
That's right.
Awesome.
And he's, and the way that he gesticulates, the looks on his face, he is so animated in a really good way. I love it. Not like Beto. Beto is animated in a bad way. He looks like he's going through withdrawals, like he's just twitching and twitching and twitching. No good.
Well, Beto's a soy boy. So
yes.
what can we say?
That's true. That's very true. Beto does not have the necessary nutrients that are required to to go on the campaign trail. All right, so next, this is horrible, you guys. Apparently, someone threw human feces in toilet water at the Trump supporters standing in line for the Grand Rapids rally in Michigan. Disgusting. Disgusting. This is another thing that Republicans would never do. A man who attended President Trump's campaign rally in Grand Rapids Thursday night told the Gateway Pundit he witnessed Trump supporters waiting in line blocks away from the rally get doused with feces-laden toilet water dumped from an apartment window several stories above the line. This is horrible. Now, you guys, a friend of mine who was at the rally actually sent me this tweet yesterday, and I was going to include it in the story tonight, and then when I went to report on this story, I saw that this was in here. So the photographer that took this footage had a big sign that said, "Make noise for Q," okay? So this is an official representative of Donald Trump's campaign who took this footage. Let's take a look. Oh my God, did they take the video down? I think they might have. Let's try it. Let's try to open it up on Twitter. Forbidden. Huh. Well, apparently they don't want that footage out there. Casey Carlson says, "Hey AOC, Q better get ready for jail." Just kidding. I pray for all the Democratic Party to wake up. I hope that they wake up too, you guys. It's only a matter of time. We're going to have to see some movement here at some point because they are going to be in for another rude awakening, even worse than the Mueller report. So the witness said that he got, by the time he got in line Thursday evening, the line stretched many, many blocks along with 3 or 4 people abreast. At one point, the line passed by a 6 or 7 story condo apartment. The witness, who was about 40 feet back, heard shocked screams as Trump supporters reacted to being hit with water from above. Then he heard more screams as they realized they had actually been hit with feces and toilet water. "They are throwing SHIT," he heard. The witness looked up and saw a few open windows but did not see anyone in them. When the witness, who was not hit, approached near the scene of the attack, he saw dirty water splashed in an area by about 5 by 12 feet. The witness saw several, about 8 or so, wet chunks of human-looking feces and dirty water scattered on the sidewalk. The witness said they did not look like dog or cat turds. He did not think to take any photos or videos. A minute later, a police officer approached and informed those in the line that the arena was full. The witness told the officer about the feces attack, but the officer wasn't interested. The witness watched the rally from the overflow crowd when he saw water balloons being thrown down on Trump supporters. Grand Rapids police announced they had made 1 arrest by these water balloon tossers. My friend Guy is in the audience. And he says, "We love you, and we know God's in control." Thank you, Guy. Love you and Gina, too, brother. Glad you guys are here. Kimberly Bogon, one half of the Bogon clan. Happy birthday to Lander. We love you. God bless America, and God bless President Trump. Great job, RP78. Happy birthday, Lander. I don't know who Lander is, but happy birthday. Maybe you're watching tonight. I hope you are. And thank you very much for that super chat, both Guy and Kimberly. Love you guys, too. All right, so let's take a look here. We've actually got some pictures from the outside of the rally. Looks like President Trump had Barron on stage. Did he have Barron on stage yesterday? Did you see that? But look at this. Twitter is still shutting me down. They won't let me look at any of the tweets from this story. I would think that probably Jack doesn't want people to know about this story, and so therefore he's blocking requests coming from the Gateway Pundit. Disgusting. The witness told his wife about the feces attack and posted to Twitter about it during the rally, trying to get some attention of President Trump. Trump campaign manager Brad Parscale and Diamond and Silk. She ended up getting the attention of the Gateway Pundit. Look at that. My husband tried to get in line, but the line was at least 20 blocks long. People in high-rises were throwing used toilet water with poop on Trump supporters. So sad. He's having a great time anyways. Jason, did you have any friends who were at the rally yesterday?
I did not, but this makes me think. So, this is a version of fascism.
Yes.
Which is contrary to what we hear, when people call, guys like me say that's wearing a MAGA hat. Fascism is a version of a type of fascism when you're trying to prevent free speech.
Yep.
So when you're chucking water balloons at people who are gathering, exercising one of their rights as an American, you're trying to stop them from this.
Exactly.
That's fascism.
I agree 100%. Patricia Furlong says, "Love all of you." Thank you, Patricia. I love you, and I love everyone in the audience tonight, you guys. We have over 2,500 people watching. If you're watching right now, make sure you stick around to the end because we have more music from Jason Was a Gentile. Looks like Trump supporters in line for rallies in urban areas may have to start bringing umbrellas with them on sunny days just in case liberals go potty again. Disgusting. I did have some friends that actually attended the rally, and I was told that it was a great time. I saw that there were many Q signs. There was a couple of really big ones. There were people with shirts on. So I was supposed to get pictures, but they never sent them. And you know who I'm talking about. Send me those pictures, you guys. Hopefully you're watching tonight. All right. So have you had the opportunity, Jason, to go to any Trump rallies?
Can I just be honest with you?
Yeah, of course.
So basically, I have wanted to, but up until this little last 4-month season of my life, I've been kind of afraid, just honestly.
Sure.
So now I'm going. I think we're going to go out to D.C. for the 4th of July, actually.
Awesome, dude. That's
But
very cool.
It has actually deterred me, truthfully, which is kind of sad.
It is sad, but I understand. I honestly, I was a closet Trump supporter until the day he was elected. Like, once he was elected, I was like, okay, I have to talk about this. You know, I would talk amongst like my friends and my family, you know, on a personal level, but I was a business owner. You know, I didn't want to come out and run the risk of losing business. Hey, quite frankly's in the audience. He says, Red Pill, my boy, loving the stream as always. Feel free to call into the 11 p.m. show if you have any personal ghost or UFO stories you can share. I do, Frank. That is a great subject. I have lots of stuff I can talk about there. When I was a kid, I lived in a haunted house, and I'll leave it for the show. I'll save it for the show. But Frank, thank you very much for the super chat, and thanks for being here, buddy. If you guys have not had a chance to see Quite Frankly before, after the broadcast, we're going to be ending at 11 o'clock. So go ahead and make sure you go check out Frank's broadcast. Frank, if you want to drop a link to your show here in the chat, please, by all means, go ahead and do that, buddy. All right, so next, President Trump has intervened on behalf of a decorated U.S. Navy SEAL who was charged with premeditated murder of an ISIS bad guy. On Saturday, President Trump intervened on behalf of decorated U.S. Navy SEAL Special Operations Chief Edward Gallagher, who is awaiting trial for premeditated murder of a terrorist. U.S. Navy prosecutors accused Gallagher of premeditated murder over the stabbing of an injured 15-year-old terror person in Mosul, Iraq in May of 2017. Hold on, here is the link to Frank's show. You guys, I'm going to copy that link, and I will be sharing it here as well. You guys can check that out after the show. I'm going to go ahead and open that up in another window here for myself. Let's see. Thank you guys for bearing with me. I just don't want to miss Frank's show, and I want to be able to call in when it's all said and done. Okay, there we go. All right, so this guy is a Navy SEAL, all right? He is doing his job when he kills someone in the theater of war, all right? So, so even worse, Gallagher was arrested on Patriots Day, September 11th, 2018. He was shackled and thrown into solitary confinement while remaining shackled for 72 hours, and he's being held at Miramar Brig in San Diego. The SEAL was also charged with aggravated assault for allegedly shooting Iraqi civilians. Gallagher was charged, has denied the charges, and his lawyer is confident his client will be acquitted. President Trump intervened on Saturday. In honor of his past service to our country, Navy SEAL Eddie Gallagher will soon be moved to less restrictive confinement while he awaits his day in court. Process should move quickly. So, Eddie Gallagher has served 19 years in the U.S. Navy, 8 tours, 6 of which were an elite Special Forces operator. He was ranked as the top Navy SEAL chief in his platoon and ranked as the top SEAL platoon. In other words, Gallagher is one of our fiercest warriors. He is being demonized for killing the enemy. The Navy SEALs Fund, Brotherhood Beyond Battlefield, launched a fundraising campaign for Gallagher, calling the charges a travesty of justice. I think this is a travesty of justice. Over $260,000 has already been raised to help Gallagher in his legal fund. What do you think about this, Jason?
I'm thinking, thank you for your service, Gallagher. Thank you, for serving our country. And we're going to be praying for you on it.
Yes, we will be. Yes, we will be. Oh, okay. So here is the story about pencil neck Adam Schiff. This was great. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Why are they blocking me? Open link in a new tab. Let's do that. Official Team Trump. Getting this pulled up here. So yeah, take a look. This is the shirt, you guys. I ordered mine earlier today. It is beautiful. Adam Schiff is a clown. We know who he's working for, and he certainly has a pencil neck. You guys, if anybody wants to order this, I'm going to leave a link to this in the chat box here. Oops. There you go. Go ahead and check that out, guys. Worthwhile cause. If you're going to donate money to President Trump for his re-election campaign, you're also going to get an awesome t-shirt. This new shirt has caused quite the uproar among the liberal media. He spent, little pencil neck Adam Schiff, he spent 2 years knowingly and unlawfully lying and leaking. He should be forced to resign from Congress. Everyone should buy a pencil neck Adam Schiff shirt today. The new merch is playing on a viral insult that President Trump dropped during a campaign stop on Thursday night in Grand Rapids. Let's go ahead and see if it'll play that, because that was a great quote. No. I can't believe they're doing this to me. Twitter.com. Let's just try to do this. Let me try to edit the link. See if it lets us go there. Joe Biden. All right, let's take a listen to President Donald Trump.
That rally was great.
Yes, it was. Chills.
Totally.
Little pencil neck Adam Schiff. He's got the smallest, thinnest neck I've ever seen. He is not a long ball hitter. But I saw him today. Well, we don't really know. There could still have been some Russia collusion. Sick. These are sick people.
Sick people. They are sick people. Jennifer Raymer says, God bless all you patriots. I also saw someone commenting on Alexandria Occasional Cortex's name. We have one person that says it's Kotex, not Cortez. Somebody else says it's Cortez, not Cortex. No, the joke is occasional cortex, okay? She's only occasionally using her brain. SGT Wife Patriot says, thank you for all you do. You're the first person I hear in the morning and the last person I listen to before I go to bed. Thanks for making my 3-hour round trip to work an enjoyable one. Thank you so much. Now, SGT, is that Sergeant? Or is that like SGT Report? Is that Sean's wife in the audience? I don't know. But thank you for your super chat, and thank you for letting me know that you listen to me in the morning, you guys. I'm so happy that we all get a chance to hang out here on the weekends. This is like a lot of fun for me to do this. Now, needless to say, the liberals are not happy about this t-shirt. Big fat necks that choke off blood to the brain might explain why Trump still has a 40% approval rating. Sorry, Rick G. Rosner. The reason Trump has an approval rating, and I would bet that it is way higher than 40%, okay, I think it's far higher than 40%, is because he's doing a great job. He is actually doing what he promised to do. He is saving America, and he is bringing our country back from the brink of destruction. The Democrats, if they had their way, the America would be out of business, and it would be the UN running the government here in America. So we did get another super chat from Tanette Booth. Said, I don't think he was talking about his neck. Pencil something. All right. So, hey, listen, we're running low on time. It's 10:30 right now. So the next thing we're going to do is listen to another song from Jason Was a Gentile. First, we're going to hear East Side, which is a song that features yours truly. Thank you so much for writing the song, Jason. Let's take a listen.
Rock on.
Just another day clicking through the internet, flicking through that content, searching for the truth, yeah. I've been weaving and bobbing through the rabbit hole. Yeah. Saw that blue pill, saw that red pill, 78 written on it, acting like he Batman. Honestly, I listen thinking he a madman. Then I go, what's up with that, man? And then I went to QMap.pub for the first time, and it blew my mind. I'm like, what did I just find? Now you can catch me on that YouTube in the section where the sun don't set. I wrote anonymous like you, trade that blue for the red Corvette. Q is the name, we are the news and the news ain't no game. Did you pick up what I just laid? You can catch me on that YouTube in the section where the sun don't set. Let me hit you with that breakdown. Where we go, on we go. Where we go, on we go. Where we go, on we go. Right through the white squall. Where we go, on we go. Where we go, on we go. Where we go, on we go. Right through the white squall. It ain't just another day, it's an open call. Down with Planned Parenthood, build the border wall. I support the Cheeto cause the maestro got my back. Q plus for 2020, I'm rocking the MAGA head. And then I went to QMap.pub for the 10th time, cause it expands my mind. I'm like, what else can I find? Now you can catch me on that YouTube in the section where the sun don't set. I wrote anonymous like you, trade that blue for the red Corvette. Q is the name, we are the news and the news ain't no game. Did you pick up what I just laid? You can catch me on that YouTube in the section where the sun don't set. Let me hit you with that breakdown. Where we go when we go, where we go when we go, where we go when we go, right through the white squall. Where we go when we go, where we go when we go, where we go when we go, right through the white squall. Now you can catch me on that YouTube in the section where the sun don't set. I wrote anonymous like you, trade that blue for the red Corvette. Q is the name, we are the news and the news ain't no game. Did you pick up what I just laid? You can catch me on that YouTube in the section where the sun don't set.
Amazing! Amazing! Jason, you are such a good songwriter, dude. That was lovely. I am so happy to have been able to play that song tonight. Winchester Defender 12 Gauge says, thanks for all you do, Red Pill 78, where we go one, we go all. Thank you very much for that super chat, and thank you everybody for sticking with us tonight. Let's go ahead and check out some more of the news. This is good news here. Rand Paul has demanded an investigation of the Obama administration over Russia. He says it could be worse than Watergate. I think we all know that it is worse than Watergate, without a doubt. Senator Rand Paul is now demanding that Obama and some of his former officials be investigated over the Russia conspiracy. As you'll see below, he's not playing around. Rand Paul says former Obama Clowns in America chief promoted the dossier, demands investigation of the Obama team. Senator Rand Paul escalated his demand for an investigation into former Obama officials who concocted the anti-Trump Russia scandal, revealing that former Clowns director John Brennan was the key figure who legitimized the charges and the discredited dossier against the president. In an interview, the Kentucky Republican said the Senate Judiciary Committee should immediately ask Brennan about his involvement in the document that helped to kick off the Russia collusion investigation against President Trump. I think we need to find the truth, he told Washington Secrets. He said the goal would be to stop similar faulty investigations into future administrations, Democratic or Republican. In a tweet, he said he heard from a high-level source that Brennan helped to validate the dossier in intelligence reports. A high-level source tells me it was Brennan who insisted that the unverified and fake Steele dossier be included in the intelligence report. Brennan should be asked to testify under oath in Congress ASAP, he tweeted. Time to investigate. It's about time the real criminals are investigated, charged, and punished for their crimes. Worse than Watergate. Jason, what do you think?
Dude, I'm so pumped that Rand Paul decided that he was going to do that because, he's gone against Trump on some things, but now he's going for that. So I'm like, all right, go, bro, hit it up.
Yeah, the thing about Rand Paul is he is all about like a strict literal interpretation of the Constitution and the law. So if he sees something on the left or on the right that he doesn't think is, above board, then he's going to go ahead and say something about it. And that's fine. President Trump, it may be the best president we've ever had, but that doesn't mean that people just need to follow blindly. Groupthink is a bad thing.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was thinking about that. I heard of groupthink, but not until when I was really dissecting these Q drops on qmap.pub.
Yep.
When he said, what is groupthink? And I was like, oh, and then whenever Q says to define a word, I legit go on and Google the definition of the word to see exactly.
Yep.
And this groupthink, man, the groupthink prevents people from wearing MAGA hats. Groupthink prevents people from going to rallies. Groupthink prevents people from telling their opinion at work. Groupthink prevents people of saying something that is contrary to what the group thinks.
Yep.
And that's a big problem, man. Seriously.
Huge problem. Jason, we got a lot of people giving shout outs for your song. They love it. The song is called East Side, you guys. All you got to do is go to the link that I dropped in the chat box, jasonwasagentile.com, and you will have immediate access to Jason's SoundCloud to the first two songs that we played tonight and also the third song that we're going to be ending the broadcast tonight with. Now, our next story, Democrat fascism in action. Chick-fil-A has been banned from the Buffalo airport in the commie state of New York. You guys, Chick-fil-A is great food. I don't eat fast food, but I love Chick-fil-A. I suggest that everyone supports Chick-fil-A. They're even closed on Sundays, okay, because they want their employees to be going to church. So every day, the New York State continues to prove that Christians, conservatives, capitalists, Republicans, and the Trump family are no longer welcome in the state. On Friday, less than 24 hours after the initial announcement that Chick-fil-A was setting up shop at the Buffalo airport, officials announced that the fast food restaurant will be pulled from their restaurant lineup. This was after an outpouring of criticism from far-left activists. The American left does not believe a Christian-owned restaurant has the right to do business in New York State or anywhere. The discussion is over. The left in New York is out for scalps. I cannot believe that this has happened. Let's take a look at this story here.
Following major development news tonight, a planned Chick-fil-A getting its wings clipped at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport.
A sudden departure coming less than 24 hours after it was first announced the popular fast food chain was setting up shop in the airport. Yesterday's announcement setting off a barrage of social media criticism over the company's stance on LGBTQ issues. So what will this U-turn mean for the $80 million development plans at the terminal?
7 Eyewitness News reporter Jeff Slauson working the development beat for us, taking a deeper dive tonight. Jeff?
This all started when New York State Assemblyman Sean Ryan announced his displeasure with Chick-fil-A coming to the Buffalo Niagara International Airport, all while another airport in Texas had the exact same controversy.
The NFTA really didn't keep a close eye on this process.
The excitement over a brand new Buffalo Airport food court met with criticism as Chick-fil-A was supposed to take a spot.
The thought that they're going to bring a company that has a long history of discriminating against the LGBT community was a real surprise.
After Buffalo Assemblyman Sean Ryan expressed his feelings that a public space should not sponsor an organization that has donated to anti-LGBTQ causes, Delaware North, the company running the food court, decided to not follow through.
It was the right decision. The vendor who operates the food court thought about it and said, we're not looking for this kind of friction.
A similar scenario happened earlier this week in Texas. The San Antonio airport banned Chick-fil-A, and now the Texas Attorney General is investigating whether an outright ban is even legal there. So what now for the Buffalo airport? Well, the plan to renovate is still moving forward. According to Delaware North, Villa Pizza and Checkers, the two restaurants in the food court, are underperforming and will be replaced. In the northeast areas of the airport, even bigger changes are expected. This brand new open market is going to bring a bigger airport feel to the one terminal space. There are also plans for a smaller coffee shop and cafe, but those plans seem to be advancing without Chick-fil-A, and the NFTA has yet to announce their replacement. The hope for Assemblyman Ryan? A local restaurant takes over.
Encourage vendors to use the local companies. We like to have the airport show a little bit of a local flair.
Now, there was no word yet on when a replacement restaurant will be announced or when construction even will begin. We did reach out to Chick-fil-A for comment and have yet to hear back. In the studio, Jeff Slauson, 7 Eyewitness News.
Now, I need to say that my friend Howard the Alien said, say Howard the Alien is awesome. Howard, you are awesome. Thank you very much for that super chat. And my friend Sour Grapes brought up a really good point. He said Christians seldom act Christ-like. And I think that is very true. That is why I make appeals for unity, forgiveness, and love on my broadcasts all the time. I don't want to see anyone being treated poorly. I don't want to see anyone being put upon or having their rights taken away. We all agree, we all have we all should exist and we should be able to have our own beliefs, okay? You even have the ability to not believe in God or Jesus if you so desire, all right? But that's something you're going to have to take up in the afterlife, okay?
And man, just sorry to interject,
yeah,
but
go ahead.
Also one of the things that all Christians have in common is that we all have, we accept Jesus, we have membership, but none of us deserve membership.
Yeah.
So, all Christians are not Jesus. We're all following Jesus.
Yeah.
And there's a thing called sanctification, which is as you grow in Christ, you become sanctified. There's all Christians have varying levels of sanctification. So,
exactly.
Everyone's in a different place in their faith walk. So we can't just chalk up all Christians don't act like Christ. Well, yeah, I didn't act like Christ yesterday, but I repented, and here I am today.
Exactly. We are human, okay? We are fallible. We are not perfect, but it's how we choose to act, okay? Everyone can make mistakes, but if you don't atone for that, if you are not sanctified, that's where the problem is. All right, so moving on to the next story. Let me go ahead and get this out of here. Let's see. But yeah, because I mean, I love everyone, you know. I mean, I don't know if I've ever said this on a broadcast before, but I mean, I have said that I grew up Catholic. I went to a Catholic school, and you know, like the thing that I wanted to be a priest when I was little, you know. And I mean, like, I lost that after a certain number of years once I realized, you know, like the corruption and the terrible things that were happening in there. But it did not soften my love for Jesus, and it actually pushed me to have a different type of relationship with God than what I had, you know, when I was going to Catholic school. So I think we're all growing, okay? We are all on our own path to finding Christ and to having, you know, this love and you know, the type of following that we have in our life for God. You know, we're on our own personal mission and our own personal road, okay? And like you said, we are not perfect. We're not Christ ourselves, you know, but I think that we should all strive to be as much like him as possible.
Amen.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So next, Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani. Every time Rudy's on the news, he's got great stuff to say. He warns the deep state. We have an 87-page report ready to slam down their throats. President Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, joined Sean Hannity on Friday night to discuss the aftermath of the Mueller report. Rudy said the Mueller report was turned over to Rod Rosenstein 3 weeks ago before its release on Sunday. Rudy also warned the Mueller team of 13 angry Democrats that if their report is released, he will drop an 87-page report on the corrupt and criminal tactics of the special counsel. Rudy is no wilting flower. Let's go ahead and take a listen to what Rudy had to say.
Mr. Mayor, good to see you. Thank you for being
Sean,
with us.
that was an absolutely terrific monologue, I have to say.
Coming from
Brilliant.
you, those are high words of praise, sir. And we've been friends a long time.
We have.
Used to call into my late night radio show. That's how far back when you were mayor. You know, a full, complete vindication, especially obstructions out. I mean, the Attorney General said it's over. Quoted Mueller. Also said he'd release the report. This wasn't a comprehensive summary of the report. But it's interesting, while no, Mueller didn't make a decision on the obstruction side of things, he just laid it out and handed it to the Justice Department, which then immediately, clearly, the Attorney General and Rod Rosenstein said no.
Well, I mean, first of all, one of the things the Democrats are doing today and the day before, on collusion, let's be clear, Mueller did reach a conclusion that there was no collusion of any kind. He went so far as to say, he used all the words you could possibly use: conspiracy, coordination, not just with the president, but with the entire staff. So that's about, and that comes from Mueller. On obstruction, he said, I don't find any basis to charge a crime, but I can't exonerate him. And the difficult issues of law and fact. I imagine he had like a dispute in his staff, but none of it amounts to any finding of a crime. And prosecutors are not supposed to exonerate generally. So he
Real quick, you guys, I'm going to interrupt just because Louie dropped a super chat and he says he's got to go. Thanks for all you do. Keep up the good work. Let's hope that the Democratic criminals will be wearing shiny silver bracelets soon. Make Hussein and Hillary out of titanium. Oh, no. Make Hussein's and Hillary's out of titanium. They are demons. That's right. And also, I did need to say, Jody dropped a super chat, and she said, I love Eastside. RP78, Jason, you are both awesome. Where we go one, we go all. Thank you, Jody. You're awesome, too. Also, Diana Davenport commented on the last story, and she said, build the stores. People can choose to boycott. Isn't that right? We have the freedom to do that here in America. We vote with our pocketbooks quite often. Also, Tanette Booth says, how often Crossfire Hurricane at rallies? Oh, how often do they play Crossfire Hurricane at the rallies? That's pretty funny. I bet they do. Jen M. also says, you're a blessing daily. Jason is amazing. Great guest. Excellent. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yep. And also, Sour Grape says, I did not make that statement to chastise Christians, rather to motivate Christians to strive daily to be more Christ-like. Sour Grapes, that's what I thought you meant, and if anybody else didn't get that, then, definitely that's what it is. I think that's great, though. Sour Grapes is always interesting commentary in this chat. All right, back to the story.
Apparently 3 weeks ago, he gave it to the Attorney General, Rosenstein, and the Office of Legal Counsel. They spent 3 weeks looking at it and came to the conclusion I've told you from the very beginning. This whole obstruction theory is a creation of Andrew Weissman, who's created crimes before and been reversed by the Supreme Court of the United States for finding crimes out of the thin air. And in that case, against businessmen he didn't like. In this case, against Donald Trump, who he despises. I mean, this is a Hillary Clinton partisan. This is a guy who worked with Peter Strzok, who we know hates Trump. I mean, Mueller had on his staff 8 or 9 Trump haters, which is unprecedented in the prosecution staff. So if they didn't find a basis to charge him with anything, they exonerated him. They did everything they could, including putting a man in solitary confinement for 8 or 9 months to break him, and they couldn't break him. So this is about as big an exoneration as I've ever seen, and I've been in the prosecution business for, I don't know, since 1970s. And to try to reverse it is, I mean, I think they look foolish and they look pathetic. And I am confident that I said this from the very beginning. I haven't read the report. I haven't seen it. They can put out every part of it. It is not going to show either one. Otherwise, you couldn't come to the conclusions you came to. And second, if they have a few nasty facts in there, I'm ready to slam it down their throat. Because we have an 87-page report, which we will use. And there are some things that the special counsel did that I don't think they're going to want people to hear. They acted in ways that outrage me as a person who cares about justice.
Let's start with the team that was appointed. How do you justify only Democratic donors being appointed by Mueller? How do you justify hiring Hillary Clinton's attorney? You mentioned Andrew Weissman. We have gone over this record a lot. As a result, he was held responsible for withholding exculpatory evidence. Tens of thousands of Enron accounting people lost their jobs, overturned 9-0 in the Supreme Court. That doesn't happen a lot. And then put 4 Merrill executives in jail for a year. That was overturned by the Fifth Circuit. How does somebody like that get chosen in this? I have a big problem, Mr. Mayor.
Well, you should have a big problem, Sean. It's outrageous, and it never should happen again. I mean, I had great respect for Bob Mueller. When he was first appointed, although, I said, well, yeah, this is a fair guy. Then when he picked the staff that he picked, I thought he kind of lost his mind. I mean, you don't pick a counsel to the Clinton Foundation to investigate Donald Trump any more than if I were investigating Hillary, I'd pick counsel to the Trump Foundation. If I did, the New York Times, the Washington Post, and all those characters would go nuts. So that was the first giveaway. Weissman is probably the most notorious federal prosecutor you could find. Everything done wrong in this investigation, he's done wrong before. He charged non-crimes. That was the Supreme Court reversed him for. He charged people with things that are not crimes. Well, he's done that in this case. Obstruction, that's his crazy theory. Not a legitimate theory, and the prosecution of Cohen for campaign fraud. That's ridiculous theory. He made it up.
Last quick question, and by the way, I'm nobody that should be questioning. I know your legal background. You were in the Southern District of New York, as prestigious. You prosecuted some of the toughest mob guys in the country. Why waive executive privilege? Why would? I don't think that should happen. Maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well, I think the question is, if there's any kind of privilege asserted, it's going to be, what's there, what's there, what's there. I can't give you an opinion on executive privilege. I'm not the White House counsel and I'm not Barr. I don't see all of that. I can only give you the opinion as a private lawyer. I don't care what they put out. He didn't collude. He didn't obstruct. God, do we have to say it again?
You're right.
And I can prove it. So give me what you got and I will knock it out of the ballpark. With the truth. How about that? The truth.
It's 87 pages, your report. I want to see it.
Yeah, well, you'll see it someday, and I hope I don't have to use it. But if we have to use it, he didn't collude. He didn't obstruct. Grow up, guys. It's like getting used to the fact he got elected. Go see a psychiatrist. Calm down. Adjust to the real world.
Well, I want to see that. I want to see the FISA applications. I want to see 302's
that one's
gang
going
of
to lead
eight.
to perjury prosecutions. Guaranteed.
The president said he's going to release it.
Off.
Told me on Wednesday.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
Gonna lead to perjury prosecutions. 100%. 100%. These people are going down, and they deserve it because they lied. They created false crimes. They tried to entrap our president and railroad him into getting prosecuted for something he never actually did. Jen M says, "You're a blessing daily. Jason is amazing. Great guest." New Guardian says, "I'm really looking forward to my U.S. trip starting next week. Any recommendations for me when I'm in NYC, Northern Kentucky, or L.A.? And Patty Patriot says, "New hit song for Jason. No collusion conclusion." Write it.
Hey, you got to be careful when you tell a songwriter that. I might do it.
That's awesome. If you do, we'll premiere it here on the show. Thank you, all three of you, for those super chats. All right, you guys, we are almost out of time, so we're going to listen to Jason's final song, the first time we've played it here on this program. This is called MAGA Cog. Yeah, I said it. From Jason Was a Gentile.
I'm going Republican. I'm going Republican. Donald J. Trump. This right here is a rally song. Donald J. Trump. This right here is a rally song. Donald J. Trump. This right here is a rally song. Donald J. Trump. This right here is a rally song. Donald J. Trump. Trump is my president. Donald J. Trump. And I'm here to represent Donald J. Trump. Trump is my president. Donald J. Trump. And I'm here to represent. Now we ride with 45. Two terms. And now we ride with 45. You can find me at the ballot box. Now we ride with 45. Two terms. And now we ride with 45. You can find me at the ballot box. I'm going Republican. I'm going Republican. I'm going Republican. Mega keg, yeah, mega keg, I said it. I'm going Republican. I'm going Republican. I'm going Republican. Mega keg, yeah, mega keg, I said it. Donald J. Trump, 4 million off a food stand. Donald J. Trump, bigger checks, less tax. Donald J. Trump, Kavanaugh Supreme Court. Donald J. Trump, you produce so we support. Donald J. Trump, 4 million off a food stand. Donald J. Trump, bigger checks, less tax. Donald J. Trump, Kavanaugh Supreme Court. Donald J. Trump, you produce so we support. And now we ride with 45. Two terms. And now we ride with 45. You can find me at the ballot box. And now we ride with 45. Two terms. And now we ride with 45. You can find me at the ballot box. I'm going Republican. I'm going Republican. I'm going Republican. Mega keg, yeah, mega keg, I said it. I'm going Republican. I'm going Republican. I'm going Republican. Mega keg, yeah, mega keg, I said it. 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 And now we ride with 45. Two terms. And now we ride with 45. You can find me at the ballot box. I'm going Republican. I'm going Republican. I'm going Republican. Mega keg, yeah, mega keg, I said it. I'm going Republican. I'm going Republican. I'm going Republican. Mega keg, yeah, mega keg, I said it.
Trump 2020, and that should be a song that he plays at the rallies. If anyone has a connection to Donald Trump and can get him this song, share this song to President Trump and Dan Scavino, President Trump's social media manager on Twitter. We need to get that information over to the president so he can play your songs, Jason. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be super awesome. I can't be the one to reach him. Someone, please, if you know, seriously, that would rock out. That'd be just awesome, man.
That would be so cool. All right, you guys, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. This has been a great show. We did have one last super chat from Minnie Moore. She asked, what happens to Bono and U2 for firing candidate Trump? I don't know anything about that. Did Bono and U2 say that they were firing him? I mean, I don't think that they would have much pull with that. No cachet in the American political scene. I haven't heard anything about it. So anyways, if anybody knows about that, please feel free to drop it in there. Jason, I know nobody can see me, but I was bobbing and weaving and dancing the whole time we were listening to your songs here, dude. Awesome, awesome stuff.
Man, you rock. I'm so excited to be just here chatting with you, and I just can't wait to chat with you again. I appreciate everything that you're doing, and dude, where we go on, we go. Oh,
yeah. Love it. Jason, you were an excellent guest. I will have you back on the show anytime, dude. It was a great time talking with you. I love everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you so much. Trump 2020. Have faith in the Lord. God is in control. Jason Was a Gentile is an awesome, awesome musician, you guys. Feel free to go to his website, jasonwasagentile.com. As always, you've been listening to Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this has been your Red Pill News for Saturday Night Livestream. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.
Peace.
Peace.